So let's talk about how to build a portfolio. So generally speaking, students, and not just student developers, in my opinion, they do get a couple of mistakes when building a portfolio. The first mistake is try to build something appealing without having the right skills to build something appealing. Yeah? So the portfolio should remain by default, the simpler the better. If you are really good with UI skills, then you can take risks. And Alex, a former student, is a good example. She was UI designer before learning how to code, so she was in a good position to take risks and to build something a bit different or exotic. Yeah? I like it because it has soul. It's something clearly different, and I think it's mobile friendly as well. I'm not sure. Yeah. So yeah, with the HTML tag, that's good. I like it. But once again, that works if you really know what you're doing. Yeah, I've seen many students try to build weird things with exotic color, blurring, shadowing, and it looks horrible. Yeah. So personally speaking, if you feel very, very confident about your CSS skills, then take risks. If not, keep it simple. Yeah, keep it simple. All right. So this was one example. This is Sarah. Actually, this is the lady that is applying to Sky at the moment. And so once again, the reason why I like this portfolio is, it's very visual. I always like to have, your face. Listen, it's your portfolio. It's not ManchesterUnited.com. Yeah, it's your portfolio. It should be personal. Yeah, I understand some people they don't want to have their face. That's fine. I mean, you do whatever you want. I'm just telling you that a portfolio with your picture works better. Yeah. Also, something fairly standard, even though that's a bit controversial, but I really like it, generally speaking, is to have a menu on top. Yeah, you see a menu. Why this is important? Well, because, for instance, if I'm scrolling down, blah, 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 if I want to contact the person, I can always click on one of these buttons. So, for instance, if I want to check LinkedIn, I can click on the LinkedIn, and then it will redirect me to LinkedIn. Something I just noticed, which is wrong from her portfolio, is, this is important, guys. Whenever you have a link pointing to external website, yeah, like LinkedIn, always open it in a new tab. Yeah? Always open it. You cannot see the top of my screen, I think. No. But yeah, so now it opens on a new tab. But by default, if I click here, it replaces the current tab. Why this is important? Because even if I like Sarah, even if I'm thinking about asking her to come to a job interview, blah, 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 if I spend 10 minutes looking at LinkedIn, then I realize I got notifications, I got messages, blah, blah. Eventually, I may easily forget what I was doing. Or even if I remember, I was checking Sarah's portfolio, but where is that? I mean, I lost it, and I don't even know how to come back, right? So always open external links in a new tab. What else? Tom, this is the guy that is joining at the Sky, the example I presented before. So once again, I mean, there is nothing particularly complicated. Yeah, yes, a background picture. That's the guy, name, junior JavaScript React developer. That's it. Yeah, if I'm looking for a JavaScript developer, that's all I need, right? I don't really care if that person likes to go to the cinema, blah, blah, blah. The most important thing is here. And I got all the email links, LinkedIn. Yeah, of course, I can, about me. Yeah, of course, I can read that. I mean, this is not very appealing, visually speaking, but it's very simple, yeah? So, sometimes it's as simple as that. Jim, another former student, it's a similar style, you see. So once again, you get a full-size picture, title, London-based full-stack software developer. That's it, yeah, that's it. Home, about me, and skills. You can get some details about the technologies that person has been dealing with. By the way, if you want to get icons, make sure you get icons from the same source. Don't get one icon from Google, another icon from, because that looks very weird. Yeah? So make sure you have some visual guidelines, and the simpler the better, once again. And now talking about some famous portfolios from developers from all over the world. So you can see the trend is simplicity. Look, this guy, he doesn't even have a menu. Yeah? I think, even though I still like the menu, looks like the trend is just to get rid of the menu. It's just your portfolio, right? You are not building something very complicated. It's just a few things about you. So just create a single page. You don't even need navigation, maybe. And just, you introduce yourself, front-end developer, blah, 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 and basic description about you, and then the skills, and then, of course, links to your projects, conflicts, the portfolio itself, the team app next month, things like that, right? That's it. So, it's super simple, super simple. Don't make it more complicated than that. Yeah, different style, multi-talented human. I'm not a big fan of trying to demonstrate that you are, because that will play against you, right? Eventually. And that happened many times. When I had to review a CV of someone saying, I'm a super expert JavaScript developer, I know everything. I mean, the thing is, that person is playing with fire, right? Because if I had to interview that person, I'm not going to ask him or her how to sort an array. I'm going to ask him or her very, 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 very tricky questions just to see how good the person was. It turns out in 2015, we interviewed a 19 years old guy based in Amsterdam who considered himself a JavaScript demigod. You know what a demigod is? So that's what he said, demigod, like I'm the best JavaScript developer in the world, right? And it turns out that the guy was actually really good. He was applying to 500 a day role remotely for Sky. And after that interview, even though actually we test him a lot, he was really good. But still in that case, I recommended not to hire him. Even though technically speaking, he was really good. Why? Because to me, going to a job interview saying, I'm a demigod, I don't know. That doesn't feel right to me. Once again, that may sound a bit personal, but that doesn't feel. Just be humble, guys. So yeah, multi-talented human. Thank you for nothing. Right, so this guy, I'll tell you something. I didn't particularly like that, so many things moving around the screen, and at some point, I was not very fan of him, and if I wanted to hire him, probably, I don't know, something I don't like neither is, this sort of mobile menus. I mean, guys, what's the point of having a mobile menu on a desktop browser? To me, that's counterintuitive. It's forcing me to click here to discover what the website offers. If you're on mobile, that's it, right? Because you don't have a space. But on desktop, I think there is plenty of space to add 4 or 5 basic links. But apart from that, what surprised me the most is that link destroyed my web page. Of course, we all want to destroy a web page. So let's see what happens when you click here. Look. Yeah? So if I'm looking for someone really good, visually speaking, that person got the job immediately, right? Of course, I'm not asking you to do any of that, but just get the idea. The portfolio is about doing something different. Someone else, pretty basic, no pictures, nothing, but some links to some projects, some testimonials. That's good, right? If anyone gives you testimonials, it's a good thing. Simple. And I guess if I click, so generally speaking, look, when I click on a link, it's fully refreshing the page, blah, blah, blah. But you can, if everything is in one page, there are ways, so when you click on the link, the page automatically scrolls down, right? Because at the end, the content is loaded at the bottom, right? So I don't have to refresh the page at all. What else? What's that? I have no idea. I've spent like 3 minutes of my life trying to understand that. To me, that's not a good portfolio, right? I mean, the guy is expecting us to scroll down, and I think that's over-optimistic because 50% of the people won't scroll down at all. We say, I don't know what's that. I click on the wrong link, out. Yeah? So you should send a clear message as soon as a company lands on your website. Yeah. So this guy is trying to be fun. I appreciate that. Yeah. Sometimes to add a bit of, some portfolios look very serious. When you are looking 20 portfolios during the morning, on Monday rainy morning, you appreciate some people bringing some sort of fun. Yep. What else? Hello, I'm Matthew Williams. I'm a full stack developer. Look my work. All right. Yep. This is pretty common as well, where developers they have not just their list of skills, but also they have a number. For some employers, this is controversial, right? Because, for instance, 90%, but 90% of what? Based on which criteria? Based on my criteria? Based on your criteria? What 100% means? You know everything? So I know this is a bit controversial. I don't dislike it, because to me that's a relative way of measuring. So to me, I don't care how good he is with HTML. What I know is he's better with HTML than with Illustrator. Yeah? That's the way it works for me at a personal level. Yeah. So something I miss sometimes. I mean, that type of messages are essential for you. Yeah, you know these guys, they got a lot of experience. They can prove their value with the projects they've been building, right? You can even field projects here, blah blah blah. So that's all good. But in your case, because you're not going to be able to offer a strong portfolio in the short term, it's very important to focus on other stuff. For instance, that message for you is very important. You should definitely write way more than that. Not only about your skills, also about your interest, your motivation, why you learn coding, what do you want to be, your favorite online articles, your favorite meetup groups. You need to talk about that. You don't have any experience, right? So you need to really focus on what you have. That's it. Yeah. Some people ask, should I talk about what they've done before coding? That's a bit personal. I think on the CV, it's important to talk about all your previous jobs, even if they are not technical related, in my opinion, because that's experience at the end of the day. When talking about the portfolio, because that's a bit more specific, personally, I mean, what's the point if that guy worked, I don't know, as a plumber 10 years ago? To me, that has no value, because I'm looking for a developer, right? So, yeah. What else? Not your average software engineer. Not your average software, yeah. Once again, looks like he's pretending something. Not a big fan of these messages. It's true that then the effect is pretty cool, yeah. So it's really good, technical speaking, blah blah blah. Many different examples. Once again, not a big fan of that. I mean, you got 4 links, right? Why don't you leave the 4 links here? Why are you forcing me to click here? I don't know. What else? Yeah, once again, another example of a full-size picture with a clear navigation on the left-hand side. To me, the icons look a bit old-fashioned. If you're thinking where to get the icons from, I mean, there are many different resources out there. I'm a big fan of Icon Monster. Yeah, I'm a big fan because all the icons have the same style, flat icons, very clean, very elegant. So for instance, home icon. So if I search home, you get the home icon. If I'm looking for contact, I type contact, and then you get different options. Yeah. So I really like these icons. And what else? Just a couple more. This is a very famous, actually, portfolio. Guy, half designer, half coder. Yeah. And then, so very clean, very elegant under my point of view. And finally, something I tend not to recommend is what this guy is doing. Ignoring all the red background, that to me it feels very aggressive. Yeah, don't forget, this portfolio is going to be checked by someone who spent at least 8 hours a day in front of a computer. Yeah, and so red color is not the best one to get their attention, or to keep their attention at least. What I don't like about this portfolio is, I know many people, they like to fake, or even if that's real, I don't care. Yeah? So they get like a frame, like a mobile phone, and then they put their website on top of it. And I don't like it because, for instance, that phone is like 10 years old, right? Like, oh, so you didn't update your portfolio in the last 10 years. This is like an iPhone 3 or something like that, right? So, yeah. Also, I know some people, they like to add a link to their resume, to their CV. I'm not a big fan of that neither, and let me tell you my reason. You are likely to change your portfolio often, yeah, because the CV. The CV will change quickly. You join in a company, and then you start working something, you change the CV, and then you join another company. So maybe every 3-4 months you'll be changing the CV. However, you are not likely to remember that you have to update the version of your CV in your portfolio. In other words, if you got 5 years of experience and I want to hire you and I come across your portfolio and I click on your CV and the CV hasn't been updated on the last 5 years, that doesn't make any sense. Your last commercial experience will be 2015 instead of 2020. So if you are highly disciplined, if you know every time you change your CV, you will remember to update your portfolio, fine, go for it. But that doesn't used to be the case, unfortunately. Yeah? So that's about it, to be honest. I mean, if you go to Google and you search, go google.com, so dev portfolio, I'm sure you'll find, I got all these examples from 15 web developer portfolios to inspire you, blah, 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 10 awesome, blah, 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 blah. You can find all these things from there. But once again, to me, the key is 2 things. First of all, don't take many risks, visually speaking, unless you know what you are doing. Otherwise, it looks absolutely horrible. And the second advice, keep it simple. To me, personally, don't even add any navigation. Just 1 page. Simple, 1 page. First of all, hello, my name is Anthony. I'm a London-based React JavaScript developer. And then short description about you. I'm passionate about coding. I started my career. I went to the bootcamp. I love CSS. I'm learning Read. My favorite blog is blah, blah, blah. I attended meetups. All these things. Of course, tech stack quickly. Yeah, if I want to hire something, all these things are fantastic, but can this person work with React, yes or no? That's the first thing I'm asking. So make sure your skills are promoted to the top of their CV. Yeah? And of course, contact. Yeah? Email, LinkedIn, phone number is a bit controversial. That's up to you guys. But all these sorts of things. So tomorrow, that will be your main activity. 9 to 4, you will be creating your portfolio. And at 4 p.m., you will present it to your colleagues. Yeah? You don't have to finish that, of course not. So that will be an ongoing activity. Starting from the next week, every Friday afternoon before retro, you will present your changes on your portfolio. Yeah, that's the way it will work.
What about using some kind of libraries to, let's say, to scroll the website, or like the website that you've shown where the bottom of it kind of scrolls up? What about using some kind of libraries to do that?
Once again, personally, I couldn't use any library. I couldn't do anything weird. I guess, first of all, create a basic web app. Your picture on top, your title, then skills, then create a structure, and then in the future we'll think about how to animate things and stuff like that. Also, if you remember, last Friday, I showed you animate.css, right? So I think it could be a good idea, but just to do something simple. Yeah, I mean, don't add 400 animations on the portfolio because that will be overwhelming. But if you want to add some spices to the portfolios, I think having something like that, maybe somewhere, maybe just for the title, something like that, bounce like, hello, welcome to my portfolio. No, I don't know, something basic, to prove that even if maybe you are not the next Leonardo da Vinci, visually speaking, at least you have some taste for animations, colors, and stuff like that. Any questions? No? All right, so that was it. Thank you, guys.